So yeah, this is China. Big, modern, fancy cities with that futuristic vibe. And this is also China. Less developed, more rural. Okay, so a lot of you guys have been asking me, Tina, I'm not really a city person. Can you just show me what countryside in China is like? So today, I'm gonna take you on a tour and compare the countryside in China and the US. So, you know what? My first impression about the US actually comes from country music. I've never been there, but in my head, it kind of feels like those classic songs I grew up listening to. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. I mean, I'm pretty sure these songs came out before I was even born. Some songs just never get old, and the melodies and sound quality are truly amazing. Oh, and speaking of music, I love it. If you guys are interested, I could totally make a video comparing the Chinese and American music. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, back to the countryside. That's why I've always had this romantic idea of the American countryside. Gentle, beautiful, and super clean. It just seems like the perfect place to, I don't know, find some inner peace. But when it comes to the Chinese countryside, well, the reality is kind of different. A lot of people think of it as underdeveloped and not very clean. In many places, toilets are still very basic, old school pit toilets. And the infrastructure isn't always great. Of course, in recent years, some really beautiful villages are popped up, preserving traditional culture and architecture, but overall, rural development is still pretty uneven. China is huge, so naturally, some areas are super wealthy, while others not so much. That's why in China, people from the countryside tend to move to small cities first, then bigger cities, because bigger cities mean better schools, better healthcare, and job opportunities. But in the US, it's kind of different. A lot of top universities and big companies are actually built in rural areas, and whole communities have grown around them. Rural areas in the US have solid education and healthcare, plus great roads and freeways that make self-driving super convenient. Meanwhile, in China, rural areas still lack good schools and hospitals, so a lot of people don't want to stay there long term. And honestly, that's why China is still considered the world's largest developing country. I know a lot of people see videos of futuristic cities like Shanghai and think, wow, China is so advanced. And yeah, our cities have developed like crazy. But the reality is, there is still a huge gap. Some people think China is already a fully developed country, while others go the opposite way and over-exaggerate how poor we are. But objectively speaking, we are still developing, and we still have a long way to go. But hey, don't lose hope. China's 乡村振兴 strategy is in full swing. From road construction to infrastructure upgrades, improving public services, and promoting rural culture, things are slowly changing. It's a long journey, but I truly believe that China's countryside will become more and more beautiful, lively, and prosperous in the future. I think a lot of you guys have probably seen videos of Li Ziqi, right? So she actually lives in the countryside in a less developed area, but it's really beautiful. In her videos, she shows this peaceful, almost dreamlike way of living, which is pretty different from life in big cities. And honestly, a lot of us younger folks who grew up in the city are starting to really look forward to a slower, quieter life in the countryside. Like during holidays in China, more and more people are choosing to stay in guest houses in rural areas instead of traveling to crowded tourist spots. It's all about escaping the noise, slowing down, and just finding some peace, just a little getaway to recharge. Over the past 40 years, China's cities have transformed, and the next 30 years, our villages will catch up. I can't wait to see more beautiful Chinese villages rise and thrive. What do you guys think? Let's chat.
小红书